Welcome back. It is Monday once again. Heck, hit up coffee. And today I want to talk to you guys about where a lot of the success I experience comes from and how these little small little things can help you along the same path of success in the terms of your ideas and how your ideas come and how you interact with those ideas. Now, if you've been following me, anywhere, mostly on Twitter, because I've given up on Instagram, but on Twitter you can see the formations of a lot of my ideas and how I play with the ideas and how I kind of I share them with my audience. And how an idea can literally, even the silliest ideas you think are the silliest ideas, can become a major backbone of revenue in your business, in your organization, in your creative endeavors. If you've seen me on social media, you've seen the stickers I produced. I do some villains. I call it villain shit, plotting, planning, and scheming. And I want to talk about that today, because I have lots of little ideas like that I kind of put together, and they're not really meant to produce a lot of income with. They're just little one-off ideas, just things that I would love to make, or things that I find funny. The villain shit sticker idea, which to this date has generated $1,000 of revenue, and it's been less than a month. That idea came from me sitting in a buddy stream. If you follow any Destiny streams or Apex streams, my buddy Anubis, he's over in the UK, and I was in there one day. I was starting to write my comic and doing some planning for other things, and he's like, "Oh yeah, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, plotting, planning, and scheming, villain shit." And the minute I typed that out, the very same minute I took I quit what I was doing, opened up Illustrator, popped the file open, and just started making little things. I make a little word mark, and now it's something tangible. There we go. So I made that in the same sitting. So 20-30 minutes later, I made that in Illustrator. And the reason I want to share that with you is the ideas that we have, they are really good. No, not all ideas are great, but even the ideas that you think will not work, you should just go ahead and make it anyway. My philosophy completely is go ahead and make that shit. Make it. If it's not funny when you put it out, it just won't be funny. But those ideas can have legs to move on into other pieces of content, other pieces of merchandise. Everything should be a learning experience, but ultimately the ideas that we have and create should lead us down a path of more and more creativity. So when we talk about writing our ideas down, jumping on our ideas immediately, or saying to ourselves, blah blah blah, that's a great idea, I should do something with that, and then immediately 15 minutes forgetting about it, that's kind of where we lose a lot of the steam, and a lot of our gold just kind of just falls away. So that is why this is the book. It may be over here. Yep, this is the book. So a lot of the ideas I have, I take them and I sketch them down in my book. Just if I'm in the middle of doing something important, I'm streaming, I take them and just write them down immediately. Or if I'm in the car, like yesterday, we were on our way we were sitting in the parking lot for the vet, and I had another idea, so I took a little note. If I can find my notes, there we go. And I had this idea, I can show you right here, unless you can read that though. And I had this idea for villain shit, and I put in Architect of Doom, and I wanted to do a little little design with that on it. So now that's an idea that I have saved up that I've actually marked down that you are 100% definitely going to see in the future because I took a note for it. Everything that I either take a note for or I immediately open up a program and start messing with the idea. Now, all of the ideas that I have ever come to fruition, none of them people ever seen, not all of them will be on merchandise, but every time I attempt an idea, that gets me one step closer and more comfortable with the program I'm working with, more comfortable with my ideas I want to put forth. And some of those ideas, the older structure of those ideas can be seen in later designs. So ultimately, that casual one-off saying of me in a chat, less than a month ago, I'm just doing villain shit, turned into me being able to, finance my Cameo silhouette, which cuts the stickers I made. Not make the stickers in-house. It's funding my screen printing setup and my in-home screen printing setup for my own business. And it may seem like a lot of the ideas you are having aren't really landing as well. And that all comes down to a lot of other things too, like the presentation, your audience, building your audience, just making goofy things and memeing. Increasing your audience footprint will ultimately be a little bit more impactful to the success you have with your sales. But when you release something and people like it, they have to share it. Which leads me to one more thing that I forgot. I'm going to mention this again sometime soon. Maybe I'll tweet about it. But some of the designs I was making for the original villain shit designs, they were taking and they like on social media, they're like the cursed words that you never want to see in your DMs or replies as a creative, as somebody with a new idea or something that's not copywritten yet, is for somebody to say, "I would love to have this on a t-shirt," which triggers a bot to come and steal your design and put it on T-Chip or whatever direct to garment print site there is. And I found a fix. I did find a fix to stop the bots. And ultimately, there's not really too many drawbacks from having that happen, which is turning your comments to follower only. So people only you follow can reply on your tweets. So that's a little life hack that I want to share with you guys. Just so when you put out a design and how many angles you take it at, and you try to get cinematographic with your camera, you're trying to put tilt, shift, and blur on everything. Ultimately, just shutting the gate at the very beginning and let people like and retweet it is good enough. So I hope that helps you guys out. But ultimately, what I did want to share with you guys is just those ideas, those stupid ideas, those one-off ideas. Take those ideas and definitely move forward with them. Sometimes you have to know when to pull back on an idea, but if it takes you more than an hour or two to like flesh out this idea, you'll feel the passion in the first 30 or 40 minutes to whether you want to go forward with it. And some things need to be chopped down and reconstructed, but seizing those ideas immediately, because we've all had those moments where we had a really banger ass idea, and then the next day we're like, what was that idea I had? And then you feel silly for not remembering it. So I want to share that with you. How I turned one silly ass idea into $1,000 in less than a month. It's passive income, really. And I want you guys to pursue your own ideas. Because there's nothing more upsetting than seeing the potential of sharing something, with the world be lost to forgetfulness, which we all suffer from, including myself. So, hope that helps you guys out. The short end of this video was make that shit. Yeah, we'll call this video make that shit. Just go ahead and make that shit. It's fine. Make that shit should be on a shirt. Maybe it will be one day. But I want to share that with you. And if you support the Kickstarter, thank you guys so much. We are at, I think, 97% funded. We're less. I think we're like 9 to 10 days into the actual Kickstarter. So if you want to get a hardcover copy of the Comic-Con daily comic strip, there's 360 plus days of comics that'll be edited by me with a forward. And, I'll be signing them. And there's also a deluxe edition where you get a poster of something very revealing of me. It's from a comic. It'll make sense when you read the comic strip. But I can't, this, I think this goes back to the idea of just make that shit. We've done this comic for over a year now, every day. And just that one silly idea of mocking hot tub streams and not able to draw nudity on stream has already, raised nearly $5,000 to produce a hardcover coffee book edition of the actual book. So if make that shit hasn't been ring true to this very moment, and this comic is poorly edited, and I try to make it as funny as possible every day, but I have a good time doing it, and people really enjoy it. You should go ahead and just seize that opportunity, as soon as possible. So, thank you guys so much for that. This video will now be called Make That Shit. I think I'll leave it there. If you are a patron, thank you so much for your support. Our monthly workshop and portfolio review will be this upcoming Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. EST. We go over people's portfolios, their websites. We try to tackle their business, questions, how to, improve their, their social media stuff, how to improve their sales, stuff like that. And with a bunch of other creatives that are sitting chat with us as well. So if you guys want to be there for that, it's 2 to 5 p.m. It's like $5 for that, plus a monthly tutorial, which I will be recording later in the day or tomorrow. Please, if you want to get some of my coffee, go to kingscoastcoffee.com. You can pick up the here we go. You can pick up the Conquer Roast. I'll probably be releasing some new mug designs. This one designed, I've already had this mug like 3 years, and it's still holding up, but it's time for a new design. We'll put the new design up there. Any updates? We are going through a little rebrand of the website, updating things. The courses are coming real soon. Game dev will be kicking back up the first or second week of next month, so keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for the next video. I'm going to keep these things as useful as possible. So break out a notepad, go and buy a notepad, buy a small book to write in, and then write down your stupid ass ideas and then make them happen, because nobody else will. So till next time, keep fighting a good fight. Yeah.